What's up, kids? Let's talk about transitioning from one-on-one coaching to group coaching. Now, when I first started coaching, kind of my progression was done for you agency, getting good at my skill set, and then eventually the done for you agency thing worked out great. We built multiple agencies, and what happened for me is not that I got tired of the done for you agency, but we got really good at our systems and our processes and our team and delegation. So I had a lot of time on my hands, right? So the done for you agency was running, and truly, we still have it now. And I probably spend an hour and a half a week, maybe, running that agency. Got a great team. Once you get bored or once you get sick of the done for you thing, it's not uncommon for people to want to take their expertise and start coaching. Most of us start coaching in a one-on-one. So somebody wants it done for you work, or they just want to know how to do what you do, and they want your advice, right? That's one-on-one coaching. Okay. If it's a Zoom call or you're meeting somebody face to face, or it's back and forth on email or phone calls, or it's a once a week or once a month schedule, or a one-off deal, whatever it is, that's one-on-one consulting. That's where I started. That's where most people start. Sometimes it's one person to one person. Sometimes it's actually jumping in and you're dealing with like a company, or you could be advising a board or a larger group, but it's one client at a time. Now, when I started that, like most of you who've done that route as well, eventually that kind of eats up your time. It eats up your emotional energy and a lot of the work that it takes just in your heart and your mind to invest enough in someone else to see them change. So a lot of us go down the path of taking that information and building an e-course, or trying to get into some sort of group consulting or a podcast or a YouTube channel or a Facebook group or something like that. Some of those things are great. Now, here's what it amounts to though. If you want to really monetize your expertise and be able to push it forward, a lot of people go down the e-course route, right? Or an ebook or something they can sell. I went down that route as well. And the thing that happened for me is I didn't really have my market dialed in, and I really didn't have the messaging dialed in and really understand what people wanted from my consulting. I'd worked with, a dozen or 2 dozen one-on-one clients, but hadn't really figured out that process of attracting a lot of people into the market. Now, here's where the transition happens from one-on-one to group consulting. That transition is a big deal. All right. And it's not necessarily hard. It's just more of a mindset shift for us as coaches. We often think that our coaching is so important and that we have to work one-on-one with someone. If you're charging a little or a lot, I'm not talking pricing here. I'm just talking like, can you help someone change and transform in a group setting as well as you can one-on-one? For a lot of us, we think we can't. We think that there's something unique about us being here one-on-one together and making sure that we get to talk and that you get to understand me and I get to understand you. And the nuances of your problem are nuances that I get to solve. Truly, if you start looking back at a lot of your coaching and consulting you've done one-on-one or even done for you services, about, I'd say 80 to 90% of the questions that your clients have going throughout your coaching or done for you process are the same questions. You're fixing the same 80 or 90% of the problems over and over and over again. I'd say in most markets, it's actually more like 95 to 98% the same, with a very little variance per person in the nuance of their situation. The farther down the road in coaching and consulting you get, the more you'll realize, wow, most of the people I serve are very, very similar problems that need very similar solutions. So what happens is when you start catching on to that, like I did, all of a sudden you can go from that one-on-one or done for you model and start moving into the group coaching consulting model, because it's way more efficient for you. Okay. Number one, it's way more efficient for you because you're doing the same thing, answering the same questions, dealing with the same problem over and over and over again, just in separate conversations. All right. Second thing, when I first got into this, my biggest concern was that I was going to hurt the people I was serving. Like they want to hire a one-on-one gig. They want me to look into their world and fix their problem in their business or marketing or system structures, whatever. And I was worried that I would hurt them because they wanted to be one-on-one with me. They wanted that personal attention. Maybe they wouldn't be as open in a group. Maybe they wouldn't show up and do the work the same way if I wasn't checking in with them every week. Maybe they wouldn't be able to just make the transformation happen for them. What happened is I joined a high ticket mastermind. I won't mention the brand, the leader. It was an amazing experience, and I realized in that experience, I paid $30,000 to be in a mastermind. Okay, $30,000, and it was the first high ticket mastermind experience I'd ever been in. And I thought I was buying more access to the expert, the coach that I was working with in this person's mastermind. But what I realized in the mastermind process is that it wasn't the coach or the expert that I was getting more of. Yes, I got more time with that person, a lot more interaction, and a lot more of my questions answered. But honestly, I don't remember anything that coach said that really changed anything for me. All right. But I do remember was the group that coach put together, a group that's well put together, that has really good people in it that are like-minded or like capacity oriented, or they have that drive and that intentionality to change. That group is an amazingly powerful group. So what changed my mind to go from one-on-one to group coaching or having my own mastermind was learning how impactful it is to be part of a well put together group. So if you're thinking about making that transition, it's not just about can you serve someone just as well in a group as you can one-on-one. Yes, the questions they have and the answers you have will remain the same. If you need to have a breakout session every now and then with somebody one-on-one to get down deep into something, fine. But truly, your clients will transform faster and more thoroughly and in a deeper, richer way because of a group you put together than they will just with you. Somebody else across the group or on the call will ask a question, and your other client will be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so brilliant. That's exactly what I need to hear." Somebody else will lean in and they'll have a problem, and five other people in your group will answer their question before you even get to it. I've learned as a mastermind leader that truly my job is not to show up and be the be all end all expert on every call. My job is to facilitate a group of amazing people. When you kind of get that mindset around building your own group coaching program, all of a sudden the efficiencies go up for you, your time goes way down, your profitability goes way up. That's super cool. But the transformation that comes in your group processes with the people you serve goes through the roof. Like it's so much more fulfilling for them. So there you go. That's transforming from one-on-one to group mastermind coaching. Yeah, it means you need to have more people in there. You get to create more income. You get to reach more people. You get to have a bigger marketing presence. You get to practice a lot of cool new fun skills in group management and leadership and dynamics. That's all super great. That's super fun growth. But what really matters is that you're transforming people and you're leading them down a path in a way that lets them really grasp what you're teaching, make it their own, and get where they want to get. And they make a lot of great relationships. They get more done. There's better accountability. There's more community. There's more support. We're as humans, we're not built on this planet to do this alone, right? We have come of age as a population and as a species in group settings. Okay, we are group creatures, and it works. The more that group can support each other and push each other forward, it really does work. It's amazing to watch the transformation. It's actually fulfilling. Today, the day I'm recording this, obviously, it is my group training day. I get to train 2 groups later in the day. And I freaking love these days because like the things I get to see in people's minds just shift, and the way the light in their eyes just fires up and they're ready to rock and roll. And it's because of each other. It's because of the group. They're in a community that lets them transform. You can build that same thing. You really can. If you're doing the done for you thing, doing the one-on-one coaching thing, consider the group thing. It's more profitable for you, more efficient on your time, and it's a better way for your clients to actually make that transformation happen. And you can do that. That's all I got for today. Hope you guys are awesome. Get out there and crush it. Do the work to get the results. You'll be so glad you did. Do the work. It does take work. There's no get rich quick schemes out there. Let's just move on from that. There aren't any. You're going to pay the price. You're going to do the work. You're going to have to put the blood, sweat, and tears in now as you're building something awesome. Or if you choose not to build something awesome, you'll put the blood, sweat, and tears in later when you wish you had, right? You got to do the work to get the results. Do the work on this. make that transition happen if that's where you want to go and get those results. All right. Talk soon.